So, I've never done any of this, so it's not like I'm doing anything wrong procedurally. So call the meeting to order at 7:40. We'll stand for the pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. First thing we need to do is reorganize. Do I have any nominations for chair?
I nominate Amy.
I second that.
Okay, anyone else have any nominations? Do you want to go around the room or do we want to just do all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
Congratulations, Amy.
Thank you. I don't remember if we typically do a vice chair or not.
It's always a good idea to have one, even if we don't typically. If there's not a reason not to, it's just a good idea to have a backup.
I had backup when I was.
Okay. Who would we like to nominate?
I nominate Larry.
Thanks, Mike.
I'll second that. Anyone else want to
Do you
nominate
accept
anyone?
the nomination?
Yeah.
You've already
I'll
chaired,
accept.
so.
That's fine.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? And then a secretary, someone want to take notes? Anyone open to it? I did it last year, but I think it's going to be hard to do well.
No, you should not do it
well.
well, Chair.
Okay.
Definitely should.
I don't mind doing it, but I can't get here by 7:30, so
I don't have a problem scheduling meetings later if other people don't have a problem.
No problem at all.
It's fine.
Then I nominate Carmel.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Perfect. Okay.
Keyboard.
I know.
All right. So citizens requests and comments. We have one citizen with us.
We do. Can I sit up here?
Yeah.
Thank you, Amy, thank you, congratulations.
Thank you.
First of all, you guys have been getting a lot of work done, and it's commendable. There's some things that needed to be cleaned up, and you guys have been able to do that. I want to make a recommendation for a change, if that's okay.
Yeah. What section of the
So,
charter?
in the charter, it's chapter 7-14, called the Town Meeting Standing Committees.
Yeah. I don't know if I can pull that up on the screen.
I think it's page 15. If we're counting the cover pages.
Yeah. In the
And then it's going to be in section B1 for the Committee of Finance and Taxation. And it would be the 5th paragraph.
Dave, can you tell me again for the notes?
Yeah.
Which?
Yep, so it's chapter 7-14, called the Town Meeting Standing Committees. And then it'll be section B1, Committee on Finance and Taxation. And it'll be the 5th paragraph in that section.
the one that starts with the committee shall have the authority at any time.
It's, because the page that the first paragraph goes over to the next page, so it's 1, 2, 3. It starts off, the committee shall have authority, yes, at any time. So in the last sentence, it says the committee may appoint subcommittees of its members and delegate them to them such of its powers as it deems expedient. I'd like to change the word may to shall, and here's the reason why. I was on the Finance Committee for 9 years. Oh, by the way, I'm David Lurie from Precinct 6.
Sorry.
That's for the record.
Yep.
While I was serving, in the first 5 years that I served, there was always a tradition of having subcommittees every year. And the reason why it's important to have subcommittees is that when it comes time to deliberate for the larger body, it's good to have a subject matter expert on each of the different town departments. And they can speak to any questions, or they could actually say, these are some of the challenges and opportunities that are happening within the town before they dive in to discussing with the different department heads. The other thing it does is it prepares future leaders who need to understand how to do open meeting law, how to actually conduct a meeting. And without subcommittees, you lose the opportunity to train the next set of leaders that would be coming up through the ranks. We had a drop-off after my 5th year in that we had COVID, and it became a tradition not to do subcommittees. So I want to restore the tradition of having subcommittees by having it incorporated into the charter, and that would be the most logical place to do that.
Can I just ask a question?
Sure.
So what, like I know that sometimes when things came up, I remember like when the golf course was having some issues, I remember talking about there being a subcommittee. Were there certain ones that were standard all the time, or was it more as things came up?
Yeah, that wasn't actually, Oh, okay. That was rolled up under other departments, like under DPW, or it might roll up under recreation. There's different departments that kind of cover a lot of ground.
Okay.
And that's one that kind of rolls up to another department, but there's a standard list, I believe, of 8.
Okay.
One of them would be, it used to be called joint expenses, now they call them shared expenses, I believe. And that's where the department, basically, you're sitting down with the treasurer, the finance director, all the people who need to understand, how much borrowing should we have, what's the balance between the school and the municipal side in terms of sharing liabilities, healthcare liabilities and that kind of thing. And then there's a lot of other ones. School is a big one. You'd have police, fire, and on down, DPW, and there's about 8 of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there was a subcommittee for each?
That was, yes,
Okay.
yeah. There's 17 members of the Finance Committee, and you could join more than one. And it could be as casual and, in terms of like how to structure the subcommittees, it's pretty much an ad hoc thing. But once you establish one, they have to do all the things like post an agenda, keep minutes. They have to go through all the proper things in actually running a meeting, just like you're doing here.
Okay.
So David, quick question for you.
Yeah.
I know it's a small, just single verbiage change. If you could share with the committee here pros and cons perhaps of changing it and what it means in one aspect and what it might mean in another aspect?
Well, the town will always say that, our town workers are working so hard, and now you want to introduce a meeting in which they have to show up to a meeting. And it was never a burden for decades. It was never a burden, but it became just sort of, and it also became something where the Finance Committee members thought, it's one less thing I have to do. It was easier to say no to subcommittees, but by not having them, the town loses an opportunity of diving deeper into what's going on with the budget and bring that expertise to the larger body. What happened was that past leadership on the Finance Committee were saying, well, we're going to do the subcommittee work inside the actual larger body. So you just skim the surface of each department. You never really got to do deep subcommittee work because you don't have time to go around the room and actually treat every department as a subcommittee. You were talking to them as if, no, this is the larger meeting which you have to present anyway. You're already here, let's talk about it. And then you'd lose the opportunity to have the expertise on the committee.
Okay. So per our rules, if we want to make and I don't know if you know this, but per our bylaw, if we want to recommend a change to a section, we have to invite the person affected in this. So in this section, I think we would have to invite Carolyn and probably Becca to a meeting where we discuss this. So if they
Sure.
had any input, and that way I want to make sure we're following our rules, but I guess maybe we can all think about it, think if there's other questions we want to ask, and then send out the invite and get it on another agenda to talk about.
I would recommend that we invite the entire current finance committee. I mean,
Okay.
the chair and vice chair are the probably most important people to have, but just to, not like they want to go to another meeting, but but maybe, or if people feel strongly in either direction or have, experience in either way, it seems appropriate to invite the entire committee with leaning toward the necessity of having the chair and vice chair at least in attendance.
That sounds good to me. Does anyone have any other questions for Mr. Laurie while he's here?
So just so that I have this clear, so we're submitting section 7 to the ballot.
Yes. So if we were gonna make
So
another
this
change, it would be,
Have to come,
Oh, yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm not presuming anything about
No.
this ballot.
yeah, I just wanted
I know.
to be sure we were clear well.
yes.
No,
We
no
are-
expectations,
Okay.
no expectations
Yeah.
there. I know this is the first meeting of your next
Year.
2
yeah.
years,
Yeah.
a year, whatever it is.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're on 2-year terms, so.
okay.
No, but thanks for bringing this to our attention. This is literally, I think, in my 3 years, you're the second person who's come with an issue, so
Oh,
I'm excited
There you
to
go.
have an
It's a
issue.
big, big change, it's a whole word.
Well, we did
It's-
that one change with the
it's
voting, and that was
five-
quite a
It's only a
battle.
5-letter, it's only a single syllable.
So,
Very
yeah,
Um,
I'll be happy to put it on an agenda. Would you like me to also email you when it gets put on the, whatever the
that'd be
date
great.
is?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure. DAVE?
You're actually in the email
Oh, there you go.
for the
Oh.
charter review. I was
Oh,
like
okay.
looking through all the old emails, trying to see if there's anything I missed. And there
Really?
was an email that you had sent like a year ago.
Oh, wow, okay, well,
No one
my
responded. I
town
apologize.
email-
I just got the email login a few
Well,
weeks
it
ago.
says Stoughton.ma, I'm no longer in the system.
Oh, okay. So what's your email address?
So it's DAVE.M.LURIE@gmail.
Okay, perfect.
And the other comment I just wanted to share, if I could just take a moment, is there's a lot of confusion about the process that was used over the past couple of years. I just want to see, like, trying to find agenda and minutes. It was very, very difficult.
For our committee?
Yeah, because.
I submitted a full year worth last
Oh, I
week.
know. Oh,
No, I'm
yeah,
just
yeah.
saying, so-
Yeah, well, the agenda stands as a document, as a separate document from minutes.
No,
They
I'm
sh-
saying I submitted a full year's worth of meeting minutes last week. So
Oh,
hopefully we're
it's
finally
broken
caught up.
broken out as standalone,
Yeah, last week I sent them
oh,
all.
instead of being
Yeah.
together, okay, yeah, that was a little bit confusing.
So I understand, I recognize the problem. I also noticed the problem last
Yeah.
week, and we are
Yeah.
moving to rectify it going forward.
Yeah, I think also, that the larger thing is that when you're making lots of changes like that, where it's significant, where it's impactful the way it is that it should have a public hearing. It really should. There should be people being able to understand what's going on. Why are all these changes important? Because some of them are very impactful. There's some language I think you're going to be talking about tonight that has to do with the select board. But I don't believe, because I've not been able to find any meetings in front of the select board in which they got a chance to look at some of the things you were wanting to have changed. That will be on the ballot, about the select board, but they never got to see it. It's kind of proper and in good, it's a good idea to have it, revealed to them. By the way, here's what we're bringing forward.
Just
So
to
they-
be
Yeah,
just clear, so you're clear about our procedure. We're not allowed to bring it to the to town meeting. We give it to the select board and then they decide if they want to. So if there's something they don't like,
No, I meant there should be a meeting to show, just like a public hearing, to say, guess what, this is what we have in mind. So the town gets to see it, the select board gets to see it on their agenda, to say, what's going on, what do you want to change? So they have a chance to review it. Because it's so big and impactful, it's not like, cleaning up a lot of like misspellings and, and that kind of thing. So I just think that's good taste. And I just wanted to share that.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
all right.
Right, thanks.
Okay, committee member comments. So do you want to go around and talk about if there's anything you want to specifically focus on in this round, or procedurally how we want to like tackle any changes we want to make?
So, my question is, can we make any changes now that it's been voted by it?
I don't mean to this.
Oh,
I mean
okay.
like to the
Oh.
starting a brand new slate.
Okay,
Yeah. So do you have any comments, anywhere you want to touch? Because I don't think we got to like the last article last year. Do we want to start at the end of this year and go backwards as opposed to starting at one? Or anyone have an opinion?
Well, we also had discussed that quorum issue. It's in the previous minutes. That how quorum is counted, and I believe Bob Mullen was the one who brought forward that there's questions about whether quorum is based on the number of possible seats or the number of actual representatives, and that's not, people felt like that wasn't, or maybe he felt like that wasn't entirely clear. So that came in after we had put together what's going to be on the ballot, but that's something we should at least come back to and make a decision about whether we feel like the language needs more clarity.
Is there language in the charter somewhere on that? That's something that maybe we
It's just
potentially
something
get
like
added.
a quorum is whatever of the representatives, but people, someone somewhere has expressed a lack of clarity about whether that means all of the potential seats, like 21 times 8, or if there's only 6 reps in a precinct, does that number decrease down to the actual number of elected representatives? So.
Yes, that's valid. I've seen that problem.
All right, so something we can tackle. Okay. Anyone else have any comments or things they want to?
Well, I have a totally different,
Oh, I love it.
Thing
Let's
to
get
bring
things
up.
to talk about.
it's been a bugaboo for I don't know how many years. I think we should get rid of the preliminary election. We haven't had one in many, many years now. We used to have them on a regular basis when it was 2. If you had more than 2 people running for a seat, it triggered a preliminary, which we used to have on a fairly regular basis. Now it's 3, so we haven't had any. The reason why I want to get rid of it, it was change all the deadlines for signatures. Because right now, we have such an early cutoff in December because we have to have 45 days before the preliminary, and then another 45 days before the election. It would bring the signature deadline to February, which makes a lot more sense than December 30th or whatever it was last year.
So is it my understanding that that's not something we can touch because it's an election-related thing? And that needs to be a charter commission and not a charter review?
yeah, I'd have to go back and look at what the regs are exactly. I don't remember it off.
All
We
right.
did have an article at town meeting many, many, many years ago, if anybody remembers Anita Brennan.
It's before my
She and I worked on it. We found out there were only 8 communities. It would be towns, not cities, because some cities do have preliminaries, but there were only 8 communities that had a preliminary election, and we brought the article to town meeting, and Anita and I worked with the League of Women Voters, and we were the ones who worked on all the research for it, and it was brought to town meeting. It was turned down because Roberta Camacho, if anybody remembers her,
Yeah.
decided it was anti-voting. And I'm like, if anything, we're trying to encourage voting. It's a lot of money to spend on something, if you consider the low voter turnout we get on town elections. Cut that in at least half. I mean, you're talking probably about maybe 500 people showing up and to run an election for that is, so I don't know what you have to do, but I thought it was something I'd bring up, because I think it's really,
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
so I'll add that to the agenda and then try and pull up what we found out from town council about, because I know one of the things he said that a charter review can't do with anything related to elections. And where there's has to be a charter commission, but I don't know if that is related enough to elections or not, but we can always discuss it, and then if it's something that we want to move forward with, ask town council to meet with us to see if he thinks it's within our purview or not. So, okay.
It looks like the information related to elections and preliminary elections, Article 8,
Okay.
Chapter 8-2. So it doesn't look like there was any amendments. There was an amendment made September 30th of 2009, was the last time it was addressed.
Okay.
So except for the election of town meeting representatives in the event that there are more than 3 candidates for each office to be filled, a preliminary election will be 49 days prior before the regular election. 2 candidates receiving the greatest number of votes will be eligible to run for that office and will be placed on the ballot for town offices at regular elections. No preliminary elections will be required for town meeting representatives. That's all it really says about preliminary, but
Can you tell me what section that is?
sure, Chapter 8, Section 2. And the last amendment was September 30th, 2009.
Yeah, that's when they changed it from 2 to 3,
Yeah.
which basically, it's very unlikely to happen, but let's just get rid of it.
So here would be my question.
Okay.
In 2009, they didn't have a charter commission, right? So
So
they made
they made the change then.
without a charter commission.
Does any,
So,
does anyone know where we can get old warrants? I assume there's somewhere kept in this building, right?
Archive room at the library.
Okay.
They're actually in the third filing cabinet to the left. Only kidding.
You're actually right.
They're probably in a box in the basement. but-
Exactly.
I feel like I remember someone talking about them being somewhere up on the 3rd floor. But maybe we can find out what change was made in 2009.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the library's very good at
Okay.
supplying that.
Okay, I can, depending on when our next meeting is, see if I can get down to the library to see what that change was, and that could maybe help us. Okay, anyone else have anything that they want to try and focus on as we for the next meeting, as we start looking at the charter? Any other comments? Okay. So let's move on to, Appendix A. These are the meeting minutes from the March 10th, 2025 minutes. Did everyone have a chance to look at them?
Mhm.
Amy, did you
No.
send those out to everyone?
Yeah, they were as
Email?
part of the,
Okay.
Attached to the agenda.
attached to the agenda.
Okay,
They were
understood.
Appendix A. Do you want to take a couple minutes, or do we want to move them to the next?
No, you can go ahead and keep moving. I'll find it super
Okay.
quick.
Does someone want to make a motion to approve them?
I make a motion to approve them.
Thank you. Does someone want to second it?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Okay. Does anyone want to have a discussion about it, or do we want to just vote? I'm going to take that as just voting. All those in favor of approving the meeting minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Sustained?
Oh,
You weren't on the
because I
committee, right?
wasn't- I wasn't
Okay.
on the committee, so.
Perfect.
Do you need to do a voice vote, Amy? I know that at
I'll do
Rules
it then.
Committee, we do have to
Okay.
do them, and I have no idea whether that's
I'll do it.
because it has to be done and documented that way. It does take longer, so it's something to,
I wrote it
Find
out so
out,
that I
but-
could do it that way, so I'm good. Okay.
I don't want you to like then be like, oh, now we have to vote on it again because we don't know exactly who said. Although if we were all unanimous, maybe you could just say
Check, check,
everyone
yeah.
who was here,
I
that
think
might
when you
be
use
valid.
Zoom, I know that our school committee, if somebody's on Zoom, we have to do a voice vote. But if everybody's present, we do.
Okay, so it might be the Zoom.
That's correct.
Okay, so should I, you were saying
Sure.
we think I should go around?
Yep.
Okay, Larry,
Yes.
Carmel,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
I'm voting yes, and you're abstaining.
Right.
Perfect, okay, now we're on to Appendix D. So last year we proposed changes to the charter, which got approved at town meeting. And the next step is that they are going to the ballot in April. And town council has asked us to put proposed ballot instructions together, and those are in Appendix B, saying a yes vote would do this, a no vote would do that. And so we need to come up with what we want those instructions to be, and then get them to town council for review before they go on the ballot. So I've never done anything like this before, so I did my best as a first draft so that we had something to work from. So are there things that people think we need to add or be more specific about, or is it too much information, not enough? Anyone have any thoughts?
So just on the first bullet,
Yeah.
I think you might want to say the select board's power to remove the town manager if not under contract. Because it's pretty
Yeah.
specific to that.
Okay, so we want to add in the language to remove the town manager. Okay. Anything below summary of proposed changes won't be on there, but that's something we had put together for town meeting last year, so I just wanted to have the quick chart for anyone to look at.
Yeah.
I was trying to decide, like, how detailed do you want to be? Because, like, no one's gonna read it if it's 5 paragraphs long, while also trying to hit all the key points.
But, so, so the whole thing isn't gonna be on the ballot.
So what this section would be.
Be, and
Yeah, up a yes vote, and then like the 6 sub points, and then a no vote. So does anyone think there's anything that needs to be like specifically called out that isn't?
Is it necessary to add that clarifying language, corrected grammar and capitalization errors? I'm just thinking that, from a layperson's perspective, if they're not familiar with the issues or the town charter, they're not involved in politics at all, they might look at it and say, oh, there's an awful lot of changes here, I'm fine with the way things are, and not really have a strong, because some people are very bright and some people are not so very bright, and they might look quickly at the ballot question and just say, like, with that, or add a little bit of extra nonsense to the no vote. you know? So
Okay.
to make it seem like it's a balanced conversation between the 2 points. I don't know, that's just me looking at it real quick. Like if I walk into a blind situation and I don't know the pros and cons or, you know, the benefits of one vote or the other, I might not have paid attention. And I might just be like, oh, you know, so I don't know, I'm just trying to,
I get your
if there's a
concern.
way to kind of maybe combine a bullet or two to kind of, you know, clarify the select board's power of the town manager is not under contract. Require the select board to publish.
Well, that's the one, that's where Larry was saying,
Yeah.
clarify the select board's power to remove the town manager
Okay,
if not under contract.
that makes sense. Add language that town manager can either be appointed by the procedure or elected by delegation to serve town meetings and committees.
I mean, we could, with that change the order of business at organizational town meeting, if we're looking to like keep it smaller, we could maybe cross out, but keep all the tasks the same.
Okay.
You
I
that?
like that because
Okay.
it reassures people. We're just clarifying, we're just cleaning things up. We're
Yeah.
not doing something radical.
Yeah.
We're not
Yeah.
disrupting it. We're just
Yeah,
making it smoother.
Switching part 3 to part 1 and that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really doing, I think it's making the charter match the practices.
Yeah.
So, John, is your concern that voters will be overwhelmed, that they'll think?
A little
Okay.
bit, you know.
Well, something we can do to maybe offset that is, like, on Stoughton Enthusiast or Stoughton News, like leading up to the election, be like, you know,
Yeah.
if you want to discuss it, here's our next meeting, there are changes, here's a summary of the changes, we'd love to talk to you about them, so that people have seen it before they go into the ballot, who maybe aren't paying like super close attention to what's going on.
Yeah. That's my only fear, is that people who aren't paying super close attention may just be like, I'm kind of fine with the way that the town government's been going. I'm just gonna vote no, and not realizing that it's really just a bunch of periods and some grammatical things we changed, and maybe a little bit of the verbiage is, you know, maybe the tense of some verbs, and, you know, and we've done nothing major here, you know. You know, select board's power to remove the town manager, maybe that's the biggest
Yeah.
thing to present, you know, but I don't know, I mean, I'm just thinking, you know.
Might it help to have at the beginning, like, changes to the charter in order to clarify, like something at the beginning to be like why these changes are happening? They're happening sometimes because what it says in the charter is not actually what's happening, and what's happening seems like it works well, so we want to actually say that. But maybe something just in that initial section that indicates that this is not like radical reorganization or massive disruption, but is simply bringing things in line with current procedures or bringing things in line with, you know, current modern practices. I don't have a concise way to say that, but if it's framed that way at the beginning, that might help people read those examples as, oh, this isn't a complete
Yeah.
reorganization of things, it's just making it match with contemporary functioning.
Like a yes vote would allow whatever the people wanted to do, the charter review to make the following changes would be clarified. Because that way it doesn't say we're making the changes without consulting, you know?
A no vote would totally disregard all of the hard work that the committee had put in reviewing every 441 pages of this godforsaken document. If you vote no, burn.
I mean, we could start with, I guess, what would make changes to the Stoughton Town Charter as approved by the 2025 town
Right.
meeting, so people know that there's like a vetted
Yeah.
process.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Okay,
You know, we're not making the changes, they're not voting on the changes per se.
And then we could say something about like the, I don't know, the goals or the objectives of the changes are to, yeah, bring the charter up into like current practices and disrupt or like clarify. 'Cause some of this stuff is just like, with like the warrants, when is it open, when is it closed, like that's just stuff that we wanted to clarify so people really know what the rules are. I don't know if I get to say like the goals though, because is that like, is that like trying to be more persuasive as opposed to like fact-based?
Seems like we could at least suggest it. The town council will tell us if we're saying something
Over
that's
the
not
line.
how we're allowed to say it.
The goals of these changes are to, I'd like to update the charter to current practices and eliminate confusion, or to add clarification, or what do you
Yeah.
think?
That's perfect.
I think add clarification.
Yeah, confusion
More
just
positive.
causes other problems. Yeah.
And then say including but not limited to.
Yeah.
So the whole thing would read, a yes vote would make changes to the Stoughton Town Charter as approved by the 2025 town meeting. The goal of these changes is to update the charter to current practices and add clarification, including but not limited to, and then those 6 bullet points. Is there anything we want to change about the no vote? I feel like that kind of is what it is, if you vote no.
I'm not gonna die on the hill of my comments, but in general,
You wasted 2 years of our time.
no way.
Okay. Anyone else have anything else they want to make a change to this? You feel good about it?
Mhm.
Sounds good to me.
All right, someone want to make a motion that we recommend this to get sent to town council?
So moved.
Second?
Okay. Larry.
Yes.
Going down the list. Robin.
Oh, yes.
Michael.
Yes.
Carmel.
Yes.
And John.
Yes.
Oh, and I forgot to vote, yes. Okay, the ayes have it. All right. Next, we just need to set our next meeting agenda date. Do Mondays work for people, or is there a better date that works?
It depends. I sometimes have board meetings on Monday nights, but they're on quarterly, so as long as we avoid those, and I have them a year in advance.
Okay. Do we want us to try and set something up? Maybe like one of the first couple weeks of December, or people's December is already jam-packed and we want to just start trying to hit the ground running in January? If we set up in December and the town council doesn't like it, it does give us another shot to make any changes though.
Yeah, I'm free the 1st and the 8th. I teach until 4 o'clock, so it's not, I can be here by 7:30 or even 8 if we choose to be a little bit more flexible with the time, be a little bit later to help some folks out. I'm fine with 8 o'clock too.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'll actually open the 1st to the 8th and 15th is the board meeting, so.
Yeah, I could do it either of those.
Okay. Does the first work for you?
Yeah.
Mike, does the first work for you?
Yes.
Okay. First. And we'll do 8 p.m. Do people like to come in person, or do they like to do the Google Meet, especially if it's gonna be at 8?
Depends on the night. I generally, I prefer in person,
Okay.
but that's
Yeah.
just me.
I will always add an online option because I would always prefer to be online, but I'm happy to do them in person. So I'll do with an online option.
Yeah, it depends on the weather too.
That's true,
Well,
if it's
that-
snowing. Okay, anyone else, anything else we need to talk about, anyone wants to talk about, or we're good to go to the 1st at 8 p.m.?
Okay.
Quick question, my appointment was through Bob Mullen, and I don't know if it was a 2-year appointment. Does it, so I would probably check with the town clerk for that, or the select board's office?
You don't know when you're appointed?
No, I am, I just don't know if my appointment is up, like, I think it's just a 2-year appointment from,
I think they're all 2 years. I think mine is probably the only one. Or if anyone doesn't get reelected as a rep, then they can't be there.
Well, I
So if you're a precinct rep and then you're not, and you get a 2-year term and you're not a rep next year, you can't rep your precinct. And mine is deputy moderator, so if I don't get reelected next year, then you get somebody else, but.
Well, and muni regs, if they're not on muni regs next year, they're not our person.
Right.
Yeah, right.
But we don't have a person right now, so if you talk to anyone who's on muni regs, tell them to send us someone. So yeah, I.
yeah, so I can check with the upstairs to see when, because that was Bob's appointment, the moderator's appointment to the board here, so.
Perfect. All right.
Just want to make sure things are above board.
You're on the list, so I think you're good, but I don't know when that
Okay.
means your term ends, so.
Okay.
All right. I guess we're adjourned. Do I say something specific?
So I'm move to adjourn the
Move
meeting.
to it. There we go. Thank you. I moved to adjourn the
Voice
meeting.
vote?
Did someone second that?
Second?
Second.
Second,
All those in favor?
Wait, who's your official second
Aye.
for the minutes? There were 3.
Sorry, Larry was my second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you very much for coming, everyone.